This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Regina Lee.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. I'm here to speak with Cathy Winter, the owner of Envision Travel. Welcome, Cathy.
Thanks, Regina. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and share some good information with you.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to travel? And especially, oh my gosh. Yeah, you tell us about yourself and how you got into this.
So obviously my name is Cathy and I am a travel advisor. I've been in the travel industry for about 38 years in different aspects, whether it be the hospitality, the airline industry. And so I started travel school really young, which back then was really cool and I was excited. And then as time went on, my path kind of took me in a different direction, but I was still in the travel industry. So prior to COVID, I was working for another agency. And then during COVID, I decided to start my own agency called Envision Travel. So that's kind of a little bit about how my business started, because I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to service my clients with a personalized service.
So why did you name it Envision?
So Envision took a lot of thought, but I wanted my name to be a reflection of me. So Envision Travel was named because I want to meet with clients. I want to hear their vision for their dream. You know, clients work hard, they save their money. You know, sometimes it's a trip of a lifetime, a once a year trip, and they want to have the best experience. So I want to listen to what they're saying, envision what they're thinking their trip should look like.
Do most people really know that when they sit down with you? I mean, I guess they say, hey, I want to go to Ireland, but do they even know what they want to do?
Sometimes people just say, I want to go there, but they don't know the reason they want to go there. So typically what I will do is start giving them ideas of the main points of where they want to go, or maybe there's things they've never thought of. And sometimes a travel advisor can have insight as to a really cool experience that you can plan for your family or your loved one, or just to go together. So it's just listening to what they're saying is key to planning the perfect trip.
Yeah, I bet it's exciting. I just noticed you keep using the word advisor versus travel agent. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So most people are familiar with what's called travel agents or travel agencies. About 4 years ago, we kind of rebranded our name and we're called travel advisors. We as advisors bring a lot of information to you. We're advising what could be good for you, what could be the perfect trip. So, excuse me, that's kind of where our name came from. We're more of an advisor versus an agency that just books travel. We like to experience what you're experiencing. 90% of the times what I'm selling my clients, I've experienced. It's important to understand the little things that they could miss or they could become stuck on. Like, I'm here, I don't know how to get here. So I like to experience, and that's part of my vision for travelers, is to experience what they're going to experience. Even though I might not particularly like it, everyone's travel needs are different. Their travel, some love Disney, some don't love Disney. So it's important to really listen to what they want, not direct them for what you want. So
is the first question typically, how much do you want to spend?
Typically when I'll email or text or whatever. Texting's big now in the travel industry. It used to be not considered business, but sometimes we'll send some quick texts, and then I'll send them a client intake form to kind of see where they want to go, what they want to do, what their budget is. I really like to stay within a client's budget because that's important. People don't have unlimited budgets. So especially, families with a lot of kids, it's really important to stay on the budget. So that will determine like what they can afford. Sometimes it might be a little above or a little below. And sometimes, sometimes they're willing to spend a little bit more because they're going to see a different, they might get a little more accommodation upgrade versus, you gotta educate. Travel is about educating the client. Anybody can get online and book a trip, but do they truly know what they're getting? There might be some hidden fees in there that you don't see until you get there.
Well, I would guess in your business there are some misconceptions about, won't I pay more for my trip if I use a travel advisor? I mean, talk to us about those misconceptions.
Got you. Yeah. The value of a travel advisor is important. We work with suppliers to get you the best value. We're basically your walking Expedia Priceline, but we give a more personalized service. You can ask us questions when clients are traveling. I know where they're at, and I can, if they are stuck, they can reach out to me. So you're getting more personalized. Typically, it will not cost you more. Sometimes there are fees involved in travel advisors. It depends on how complicated the trip could be and how many, I call it, moving parts there could be. But for the most part, we don't charge fees. So you're getting basically the best pricing. And a lot of times we can throw in some extra perks in there to surprise you,
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys, you're experts at this. So,
Right.
yeah, it makes a total difference in the trip from my experience. Do you
Right.
work with corporate travel?
I do work with corporate travel. I love to plan incentive trips, give those employees something to look forward to. And typically you'll set a value of the trip and then I can help them plan it, or you'll already have a pre-trip already taken care of for them, that this is, what they're going to do. So I'm pretty open. And that's one thing about, working with somebody personalized. You can customize what you want to do, what you want to spend, how you want to spend it, versus, just getting online and booking a hotel or something like that.
How far out, if people want to travel, do you suggest starting to work on a trip?
Oh, that's a good one. So in today's world, typically airline schedules are out about a year ahead of time. So airfare might have to come later when you're booking, but the further out you can book, the better. You can secure better pricing, especially in today's economy. You're seeing prices change daily, especially with flights. So yes, I typically recommend, if you're going to Europe or a foreign country, a year out. Some of your smaller trips, maybe not so much, but a year is never too early to plan.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it'll next year will be here before we know it.
It will, yes.
So, what is your area of expertise in the travel world?
Oh, that's a good one. I love Caribbean vacations. I feel like all-inclusives are my specialty. And then cruising is also my second specialty. There's so many different cruise lines out of there. Great value for your money. Every cruise line is different. Every cruise line is for a different person. So making sure you get the fit with the right cruise line is important, because you could make or break your trip, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. What is the best trip you've ever taken? Can you name just one?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I
Two or
don't
three?
know. I like I said, I love the Caribbean, but Europe is really become really neat to me. The food, the experience, the education, traveling to Europe. Alaska, I would say Alaska. I take that back. Alaska is probably my number one. Alaska is a great trip for multi-generation families, single people, couples. Just Alaska is just one of those trips that you have to experience to see the nature and the all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do Alaska by land or cruise. You can do it by both, all in one trip. So I would say Alaska.
What's on your bucket list as far as destination travel for yourself?
We're doing Iceland next year. That's going to be a good one. Winter Mediterranean has become a hot one. The Mediterranean and Europe is really crowded during the summer. So anytime you can do a trip on what's called shoulder season, like the beginning of the season to the end of the season, if you have flexibility, you're going to have better pricing and less crowding. So there's so many great things to do and see out there.
Can you think of like a super unusual trip that you've booked for a client? Does anything come to mind?
I don't know about unusual, but one of my best trips that really was rewarding, I had a lady reach out, and autism is one of my specialties, autism travel. It's definitely there's some resorts out there that specialize with autism, whether it be young or adult. So I had a lady that her son was really enthralled with the Statue of Liberty. and they wanted to surprise him for his birthday and take him to New York. So we planned the trip to New York, and the pictures that she sent, seeing this young gentleman just behind the Statue of Liberty, something that he was obsessed and knew every fact about, he loved it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love rewarding trips. I had a great time, or, just, I guess people don't think they can afford something, but finding the right fit that allows them to reach their dream that they've always thought they can do. A big trip I've got coming up, I pull a lot of groups. Group travel is fun. It's a lot of perks involved, better pricing. So Tahiti 2026 is one of my big trips that's coming up for the area. So it's going to be good. So
how about solo travel? Any advice for that?
I partnered with Zenfully Aging in in Denver area, and we're trying to create more solo traveling. So people that either their spouses or loved ones don't want to travel, or maybe they could have lost a loved one. We want to create a space where they can go and travel and have fun and meet people like them. So so that's something that's coming up that I'm working on with them. So hopefully you'll see some of that out there.
Yeah, I recently did solo traveling, and it was very interesting, very different, and a little tough to figure out.
Yeah. Although I love to solo travel. I do a lot of trips by myself. Gives you time to, regenerate, focus on yourself. So there's all kinds of pros when you're traveling by yourself too.
Absolutely. Well, tell our listeners, how do they reach you?
So you can reach me by email. You can definitely call me at my phone number, 704-996-3473. Love to meet you. Love to talk to you. Even if it's a question, I get people, I'm on Google, so I get people that reach out just to have a question. I don't mind answering it. I would love to service you, but sometimes, things just don't work out. But I like to educate. I think education in travel is really important. Because people are scared. They're nervous. They don't know if they should do it. So I love to educate.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you today, Cathy, and learning about Envision Travel. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you out in the community.
Thanks for having me, Regina. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsouthcharlotte.com. That's gnpsouthcharlotte.com or call 980-351-5719.